We're just gonna record from here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're recording. Okay.
Just record it and then just try to stream it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll record it now. But yeah.
Okay.
And I'll splice those two things together.
Yeah, sounds good.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah, where were we? You were talking about your strategy,
so
general
my strategy
strategy.
generally is to go to 6 as much as possible, get a board, and then use my guys on board. Where generally in COTA you are just like alternating turns for things.
Yeah.
I think in AOA it rewards you for just reaping as much as possible.
Yeah, you're right. That was this position I kept trying to put myself in, and I couldn't get. And I like described one of the games that I played where I was playing cards, and my opponent was playing cards, but also gaining amber. And I lost the game because at the end of the game, he had amber and I didn't, because we were just kind of like, we were fighting for parity the whole time.
You gotta be advancing.
Exactly, and I had to generate with creatures, and I couldn't actually get to that. And I wonder, like, I do question one of my plays where I had a Sanctum board with about 3 or 4 guys on it, and I wonder if I had just reaped 5 turns in a row with them, if that could have won.
I think yes.
Because the thing was, I had a Barrister Joya.
They couldn't reap.
I had a Rothias the Fierce.
They couldn't really attack into you.
And I had a Lion Baltram next to Rothias the Fierce.
Powering him up even more. Okay.
Yeah. So, and his board literally all died if they attacked into Rothias the Fierce.
Yeah, okay.
So the problem is that his board also included 2 Titan Librarians.
So he was also advancing his archive, building up for that future
Correct.
turn.
So he was playing cards, still gaining amber, and I was terrified of what the archives held.
Yeah.
Because his archives was growing, and he like used a Lollop Deflex and did some other stuff to just generate like piles of amber.
So,
and I was like, I need, because I had like I was going to have to get to like a Bade and a couple other people to keep him off of keys.
But if you had just called Sanctum a bunch of turns in a row, you weren't drawing any cards.
Correct. Yeah. So it's one of those really hard that it can't go back in time and like really see.
Yeah.
I wonder. I know I lost the game because I had a like seriously, it was like a 5 or 6 card archive thanks to Incubation Chamber of Mars dudes. And I waited slightly too long to pull them out of the archives. I think had I possibly won definitely 2 turns earlier, if I had just picked up 5 Martian dudes from my archives, and I had like another one in my hand. That was the thing. Like I kept drawing into my Mars guys, and so I kept throwing them in the archives. And so if I had just like thrown those on the board and just reaped 2 turns, I think I'd close out the game.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really scared of any of the big amber removal. Because I think he was playing like Brobnar, Sanctum, and something else where it's like you just go to 6, you go to 6 pretty safely, and you don't really have to worry about it.
Right.
But you don't have to worry about like the 1s or the 2s keeping you off. And if you played like an Abade, you've got such a big board that you probably just reap past Abade and just let him just throw away the 3.
Worry about that later.
Yeah. So I definitely questioned some of the plays that I had later on. But I had a deck that could not stop a key, and that deck just kept losing, and it felt miserable playing the deck. And it was such a shame because the deck was so close; it was on the verge.
Yeah.
If I'd had like a Burn the Stockpile, a Grok would have been awesome in that deck, because it had Brobnar and it could fight fairly well. But the Brobnar, like I had like stuff like Little Rapskull, who I thought was going to be pretty solid, right? Because I was like, I'll fight you off the board with Brobnar, then reap with my guys. But what ended up happening is that like Little Rapskull just died all the time, and then they'd reap and ignore what I was doing. It just wasn't quite powerful enough. The Untamed side was a real bummer in my deck.
I also had a deck that had no amber control that won every single game.
Yeah.
Played, so that's the difference, right?
Right. And I think
it's better at grasping the board and then just shutting down the opponent.
And we were comparing notes later, and I was telling you about like some of the stuff that I played against. And like I was 2-2, and I played against a guy. He had 3 Shadows decks, so I banned the one that's Shadows, Logos, Dis. And he showed me the deck afterwards, and it was the correct one to ban. It had Time Traveler, It had 3 Schulers. It had its Shadows was pretty disgusting and whatnot. And so like it was a gross deck. I didn't play against that one, and I still got trashed by Shadows in the other 2 games.
Yeah.
He played 2 Nerve Blasts and 2 Ronnies on me, which was like more Amber than I really got to steal like the whole day. So
That's
it was
4 Amber.
Yeah.
That's like an insane swing.
Yeah, right. I went to 7 Amber against him. There was like no,
Okay.
no, it didn't because he'd played 2 Ronnies already in the
fine.
game.
He probably has a 3rd Ronnie.
Yeah, he played 2 Ronnies already in the game, and he was like, "I'm sorry, man, Nerve Blast." I was like, "Okay, it's whatever. I'm not mad. I can't be mad at this. If I like, you're gonna get crazy if you want to get mad at Shadows and Seal." So.
Yeah. That's all we want to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
Tournament's been interesting. Long, grueling.
Yeah, very grueling.
100 minutes.
I wanted to play this format because I thought it was like super interesting, but then you do the math and you realize the tournament is 600 minutes.
So we were at it for 12 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of that was waiting.
Yeah. I killed my battery on my phone. I realized that I actually spent less than half of that time playing Keyforge because for every round except for my final round, it was all 2-0 or 0-2s.
Yeah.
And my final round was the only one where I went to a game 3.
The difference is I had 4 rounds to go to game 3.
Yeah.
So I had 16 games of Keyforge.
I spent like a lot because we like didn't really get to compare a whole lot of notes
No, we didn't
yesterday.
get to talk much.
Yeah, because like just like I'll finish. They're like time left in the round, 50 minutes, and I like look over and Justin's like sweat pouring down his
Yeah.
face, just like he was famished.
I was starving to death.
Yeah,
My
like,
body was eating itself from the
Yeah.
inside about half the day. No,
Yeah.
probably more than half the day.
Yeah, it's so I
majority
was
of the
like,
day.
I finished a round, went got food, came
back, I was
back,
still playing.
and then there were like 40 minutes left in the round. I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm Justin. Tabletop Royale back.
All right.
All
Before
right.
I pass this back over to to you and Eric, good luck to everyone in the top 8. We'll have this posted later.
Sure,
It's not
yeah.
currently live because the internet is trash. We're going to try to get something back up for the top 4 in the finals. But otherwise, Eric and Nate, take it away.
No pressure. You're playing for a Worlds invite.
No pressure. We're heading out, right?
Yo.
And then just
Yeah,
go
Yeah.
the mobile casting.
I got you.
All right, so we will get to see the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll click on the mobile casting setup.
Sure, cool.
We'll do that right now.
Sounds good.
Okay, he can't spell Royale, so that's a thing.
It's like Royale with cheese.
Right. He spelled Rotal. Would you like to not rename
Rotel?
to property?
Nathan, Eric, good to meet you.
Yeah,
Black
nice to
White
meet you
Man?
guys.
Have a good one. Nope.
Roytail.
Nope. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Correctly labeled.
All right. Sorry, I'm
Test.
yeah.
The
I'm
audio is
letting,
not working. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
We
So I
haven't
was letting
started
people
yet.
in the Discord know.
That we're the cast is down, but we'll have the recording.
Yeah. We have like a general din of people around us, right?
Yes. There is a din. There is
Yeah.
a din of occurring. There's a din.
Yeah, a general noise levels around us. So
Yeah. I can fix that.
You're gonna do some game manipulation.
Noise suppression.
CZ would like a slider for this that just applies to me. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Can you give that to him? He wants a slider for that applies to my voice only. Yeah.
That's
okay.
yeah. That's like selective hearing. I think that's what he's looking for.
He already has that. See,
Doesn't have a handle.
we just do Nathan and Justin.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have like a Twitter, but it's whatever.
It's symmetrical, right?
Go down and
okay, I don't know what you were trying to do there, but
Not that.
I think
How
it's
about-
from.
No, the down didn't work. Enter.
so you want? I see what. I got it. Hold on. No, hold on. I got it. I got it. Stop. That's me.
Yeah, I play the card, so it hasn't moved.
This over a little. Just white on white is bad, but
Yeah.
there's no resolution to that. There's a huge strip of
Right.
white there.
So you all made top 8.
Hmm?
Who all made top 8? Oh, they're doing a picture, right?
I don't know. Do you want to get in on this picture? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
We lost seeds 1 through 3.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's Keyforge, dude.
It is Keyforge.
That is Keyforge.
I mean, but also that's sealed and that's
Yeah.
matchups, which
Yeah.
is Keyforge.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. No, I mean, I think you have like, it. To me, it's amazing. It's amazing when skill comes into play, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have played against players that I know have not played as much as me, and I've been trashed by them
Yeah.
because of the deck and the matchup and stuff like that. Even a deck I
Right.
knew pretty well,
Right.
even a deck that I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I have like an artifact that's central to my strategy, and they like poltergeisted it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Cool.
you got a Bumblebird, Matt. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, is that? Can I see? Is that the top 8?
Yeah, show it off on the thing.
Yeah. We got our Bumblebird,
Colby
Matt.
here,
Colby with the Bumblebird,
Showing off
Matt.
his bling for having defeated me, holding
Yeah.
it over my head,
Can we, like,
trying to get out of the way
can we, like,
here. There we go.
Hang that maybe?
You want to hang that right above my head just to symbolize my loss? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just like right here like this.
Yeah.
But it looks nice.
Yeah.
It's great. It's super good. The mat is worth more than my play, so it's okay. I'm fine. I did
See,
not
it's
like,
banter, it's banter.
I wasn't kidding when I said I did not expect to win that round under any circumstance.
Self-deprecating banter.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to do any setup for this?
Uh,
I'm sure he'll edit from it.
Yeah,
so.
he'll drop. So we'll do a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
intro.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Top 8 match.
yes, hello
Nationals.
everyone.
Yep.
Welcome. My name is Erich, also known as Justice Blinded. I'm from Team SAS. Also, you can find me on Archon's Corner for casting purposes. Happy to be here. Along
Yep.
with-
Nathan from Tabletop Royale. Twitch/Tabletop Royale. I'm on Twitter a decent amount. But yeah, I caught some of your stream on Archon's Corner the other day. What's the goal there? They go into like rotating members.
Yeah, so we have when we're doing sometimes I'll restream foreign vaults.
Okay.
But we rotate. So my day is usually Sunday, although not for the next 2 weeks because I'm here and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I'm usually Sunday. We have another guy that does Saturday. Jupiter does Thursdays.
Okay.
So we're just kind of
Just
doing some-
and Jupiter's been on Twitch for quite some time.
Yeah, he's been on there
yeah.
for a long time. We're
Yeah.
just throwing some content out there. You
Cool.
know,
Nice.
Just
Yeah,
contributing to the community, all about growing the community.
Right. Yeah, I think there's still plenty of room for Keyforge on Twitch, and I think the more the
For
merrier.
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And
So-
for sure, once they get the official if they do a nice official app and everything.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna
yeah.
be,
I
like,
definitely
it's
think
more streaming friendly than what we've had so far.
exactly. Right. Because the problem, like Crucible, is nice for like learning decks, learning the plays, but Crucible looks miserable on stream.
It does. It looks miserable when I'm like
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
it, right?
It,
Like,
it is a web app, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like people don't play like Windows Solitaire on Twitch.
Seminar room 4?
Seminar Room 4? I don't know. There was like I don't know.
There are
I know.
rooms on the other side, but we're
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah. There's
Sorry.
like a bathroom right over there, but yeah.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out in post.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Giving directions while live on stream.
Yeah, but that's con life for you. So, right. So, yeah, I think there's plenty of room for Keyforge on Twitch.
Absolutely.
And that's one of those things. I think like if a digital app comes out, and if it has like, and as long as it's handled better than like Artifact, then I think it will be popular.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
To
and
a
it will
degree,
be,
so.
it's gonna explode the popularity of the game because people who, because I think Crucible has a lot of interaction right now with people who know Keyforge already and are involved in Keyforge. But it doesn't draw in. Like a lot of people aren't like, I want to pick up the game to play on Crucible.
If I could
right?
use the term incestuous, it's almost incestuous, right? Like you can't find like a way into it, and it's like it's sort of alienating to people who are like from the outside. You might go in, you play one game, you get trashed, and you're like, well, that wasn't fun, and I don't see what the appeal is. I'm leaving. So whereas like a nice digital app, I think would appeal to a wide variety of people.
Especially if it has good mobile integration and that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
So.
If I can play it on my phone, instead of doing work, sign me up.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. And I do know that we so there are some people that are from my team and some people from the community that are working on Archon's Arena.
Yeah.
Which is like a kind of a Crucible alternative. It's not meant to be like super competitive.
Yeah.
But like they're working on trying to get a different graphical interface.
Yeah.
And they're working on
Still
mobile.
Still web based or
Still web based, but they're working on mobile app integration.
Okay. What's it programmed with?
Man.
No,
it's okay. Like
gotcha.
this is I have much respect for people who are in that universe,
Okay,
but I am not literate in that universe.
I am in that universe. I'm
Fair,
tangent.
fair. So
My day job is QA, so like, and I work like my day job is to work on mobile app,
okay,
or like
all right.
web apps
Well,
and
then
stuff
yeah,
like that.
I'll ask Grant.
Okay,
so we're
yeah,
getting started. We're gonna go.
We did a little bit of intro
we're
here
just
for
doing
you,
random
so if you wanted to
interviews,
bump right
so,
with that, but yeah.
We're gonna go live
All right.
to the recorded, but live
Okay.
now to the setup.
Live to us.
And we have.
Have they banned? I think they have. It looks like they have banned then, right?
I don't know.
I think they have. If they're shuffling, they have to have banned. So Colby has won the right to go first.
Hold on, let me see.
A little bit. Yeah, we're gonna try to see if we can figure out what they banned. I am currently flying solo. Justin has his Arbits tokens, his Arbits keys, which look sweet, but they do look kind of faded on stream.
So Colby banned something with the same house combination as the deck on the table.
Okay.
It looked like it had some interesting things in it. Colby thinks it's the same one. This is a rematch of round 5.
Okay.
In day one.
Okay.
Colby thinks it's the same deck he banned.
It would actually be interesting if he banned the wrong deck because Justin had 2 decks that have the same house combination.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that could be pretty tricky then, right?
Yeah, so it would be interesting.
So, yeah.
Colby, Justin banned the Grump Buggy deck that Colby has.
Okay.
So Justin is going to be playing against not this deck right here, but the Dis Shadows Mars deck that I banned. I lost to Colby last round, right?
Yeah.
I banned that deck because I had heard that deck was
disgusting.
Was obscene, but I think all his decks might be obscene.
Yeah. So the thing is, if they have a broken deck, they can only win 1 game with it, right?
That's true.
So that was my rationale when I banned. I banned, tried to get the most broken deck.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then if they have another deck that's really good, you still want to they can only win 1 game with it.
Yeah.
So you might as well.
No, I mean, it is not possible to ban all of Colby's good decks.
Yeah.
Because my understanding is he has 3 of them.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that's not possible. But you just try to get the thing that maybe is a particularly bad matchup for you if you have.
Right.
I think I was talking to Justin previously, and maybe you can confirm this.
Yeah.
He told me he didn't have a lot of artifact control in his decks.
He does not. No.
So if you don't have a lot of artifact control,
Grunt
Buggy
Buggies
may be
is a big problem.
Right.
Especially so like Mars. Mars doesn't play well with Grunt Buggies because all the dudes are too small for the most part.
Usually, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
With the exception of like Dominators, and some other wacky stuff happening.
Yeah.
You really don't want like a Mars deck versus a Grunt Buggy deck because your guys are just too small.
Right. I didn't have that choice. All my decks were Mars, so you know.
All right. We got the game started off. Colby did get the first roll. I see a Swindle in his hand. He leads off with the Cermeros. Justin plays a Redlock, plays Miasma, and passes. Justin's drawn up. I see a Bad Penny. I see a Foozle.
So he had 3 or 4 Brobnar things in there.
Yeah. So Colby is going to stun Redlock here. What's that?
Judgment.
Eye of Judgment. What's that one do? Is makes elusive.
Action purge a creature card from a discard pile.
Okay, yeah. I haven't actually ever seen a physical copy of that, despite playing as much AOA as I have.
I've had the displeasure of playing against this specific deck, so
yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it does interesting work. You can also use it to filter your own deck, right?
Yeah. So Justin bounces back with some Brobnar stuff. He's got a Flamethrower, a Foozle. He played a Pound and a Trimmer, so locked down Cermeros. Didn't do any damage to Cermeros because the armor stopped that. He did play a creature, so he doesn't get Amber from Redlock. Redlock is actually one of the sneakier creatures that I've seen in this set. There's a lot of situations where you can go to 6.
Do you know if Justin has Swindle in this deck?
I don't know.
Swindle is super good with Redlock.
Yes, yeah,
right?
you're right.
Swindle, like, Redlock upgrades Swindle to quite good.
Okay, Lights Out's pretty negative tempo play there. Bouncing creatures from 2 different houses makes it impossible to play both of them on the next turn. So he looks like he's at 5 Amber right now. Not quite threatening. Justin is going to respond with a Hideaway Hole.
Do you discard the Bad Penny here?
Subtle Penny. You've got a Throwing Stars in your hand.
Oh, so
you
play
definitely
it
gonna,
at least once.
Yeah,
but
you
do you
could
discard
definitely
it the
play it
second
once.
time around?
Against Sanctum, and what are the other houses in this deck? Shadows.
Shadows, Sanctum.
You don't want. So the thing is, I don't want a Bad Penny in play versus Shadows because of the opponent's ability to have Throwing Stars, or even like Mac the Knife or random other people like that can get you pretty Amber. So
Colby just played Swindle here.
Yeah, and that's a pretty bad Swindle too, because it puts Justin way back and puts Colby way ahead. Now, if Justin had burned the stockpile here, he'd be in good shape.
Yes.
But he doesn't. So Colby gets the first key of the game. But Justin does have 2 Flamethrowers, a Foozle, and a Wallop.
He's establishing a pretty good board presence.
Yeah, definitely. This is like a long game board presence, right?
Yes.
The thing with artifacts, especially something like Subtle Maul, it generates a ton of value if you get the time to use it.
Right.
So, I see a Martian Hounds in Justin's hand. That combines with Flamethrower, interestingly enough.
It really does. I mean, it depends on how much armor Colby's putting down in the rest of his board. But
Right. Well, you could. I think Martian Hounds is all damaged creatures, so I think you can even damage your own guys.
Does Flamethrower let you damage your own guy? It does, right?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it says deal 1 damage
right.
to a creature. So
yeah.
All right, some more Sanctum stuff's come out, and a Bond actually basically blanks those Flamethrowers.
It does
for the most part.
Well, the move is to double Flamethrower or Bond next turn if you're calling Brobnar.
Right. Well, it's probably fight Lollop off the board. I mean, you got Chael too, so yeah, you get all kinds of nasty stuff over there. So yeah, I'm not sure. Justin's building up some Mars stuff in his hand. He's got a War Grumpus, actually, so War Grumpus...
I think you gotta go Brobnar here and try to mitigate some of this.
Yeah, it's like way too much Sanctum stuff.
You a Brobnar, you double Flamethrower the Bond, you kill something with Lollop, you reap with Foozle. I don't know what else he's got. He got a War Grumpus? War Grumpus is...
Yeah, War Grumpus is fight reap, so he can't actually get to do stuff, so... he won't do stuff on the play. But it at least lets you play a card from your hand. So, Foozle, you really want to reap with Foozle, but here I think you might be in a situation where you just got to fight. Because
it's a close call because Foozle can't kill anything other than a Bond, and you're probably going to kill that with Flamethrowers anyway. So he's going Mars instead.
Well, the Flamethrowers only do 1 damage. So the
I thought they did 2 with 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do 1 with 1. You're right. So you can't kill a Bond with the Flamethrowers. Oh, that's a gross situation.
Yeah. So Justin's opting to play a bunch of Mars stuff.
This is okay because he's going to get some value out of this. The real question is whether Colby goes back to Sanctum next turn.
Right. Because he could reap 4 times with Sanctum and threaten the next key. I don't know what's in his hand, but I guess you can also use the Eye of Judgment. I don't even know if Justin has anything in his discard pile. You got a bad penny. I don't even know if I'd want to purge that, right?
So yeah, Colby purged something last turn. I didn't see what it was that he put under the Archon card.
Oh yeah.
So he used Mars first to reap with the Squadron, which got captured by Cermeros.
Yeah.
And he's going to play Martian Hounds.
Yeah, there's nobody's damage.
He's discarding Martian Hearts.
So he did use Hideaway Hole, so all his guys are elusive.
So we'll see if that's enough of a deterrent to keep Colby off
okay. So now Justin's got a pretty juicy hand here for Brobnar. So if he gets back to around to his turn and he can use some Brobnar, then I think he can get some damage done. He drew a Ganger Chieftain.
A Chieftain?
So
okay,
Wallop and Ganger Chieftain can take a lot of stuff off the board here. Because all of these Sanctum guys are really hard to kill. They aren't that big. Wallop can actually fight any 3 of these dudes before he dies. So they've got a ton of armor, sure, but Wallop crushes right through that with that 11 power. And then Ganger Chieftain from the hand can also do some pretty nasty stuff. Get like that extra fight in there.
I think he really needs to take action towards this board on his next turn, or he's going to be in trouble because if Colby's move, regardless of what he has in here, is a potion of invulnerability. I
saw the Knight, the Sanctum Knight. Is that even dudes or is it odd dudes?
I want to say odd. If it's odd, that would be pretty darn good for Colby.
But if it's even, it's bad. Yeah, okay, it's even.
Oh, it's even. Okay,
even, so he's discarded.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember either. I can't keep the 2 guys straight. So the if he had played the Opal Knight, he would have had to kill 3 of his own Sanctum guys, which would have been a debacle.
I mean, fortunately, he has tools, but even if he didn't have tools, I think Justin would almost have to call Brobnar here.
Right,
you have to take care of this board, otherwise Colby just doesn't call anything else the whole game, and it's over.
And then wins,
Right.
Yeah, so I think a big Brobnar turn here is going to shift some momentum towards Justin. Thinking about it, Lala probably crushes Chael here.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
4.
Lala takes some 4 damage
Does he have Drummer not in this deck?
He does not, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be really good here.
Yeah, it would be really good. So it looks like he's got a War Grumpus, a Ganger Chieftain, and a Grumpus Tamer, I think is the other card.
So the War Grumpus is fight, reap,
ready
and fight with a friendly giant?
Yeah.
So
a neighboring friendly giant.
Right. So I think the play here, after he's reaping and getting 2...
The War Grumpus is only 3, so there's not a clean target for him to fight.
Well, actually, I think there is. I think if you put the Grumpus next to the Lollop and then Ganger Chieftain up top, you could fight into the Abond, right?
Well, the War Grumpus has got to survive the fight to ready.
Oh, so that's a fair point. So maybe that's
War Grumpus is better against like elusive targets because you could fight the Grumpus in there, break the elusive, and then swing the big giant.
I might consider giving up the Grumpus to kill Abond, but this is probably better. What is the Tamer and the War Grumpus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So and then he double
flamethrowers, get some damage.
So that's fair because that gives him more of a board presence.
Well, he can also flamethrower on the next turn to finish off a bond.
Right. The Grumpus is gonna do some work if he can manage to clear
and it definitely looks like Healing Blast. Oh, brutal. Lollop took a bunch of damage for Colby. So Colby's now sitting at 8. That's probably going to force that Keith. No, obviously, burn the stockpile in Justin's hand.
Oh,
so,
that's very good draw.
That's good. You definitely wanted that in that situation. So he's actually going up above. He's at how much now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
There's
9,
a 3
10?
under one of those.
Yeah, so he went to 10 then.
Right, so you absolutely go Brobnar here.
Yeah, and you do burn the stockpile, but you won't stop the key, unfortunately. But I think you got to destroy that 4 amber.
You have to destroy the 4 amber now, otherwise you're probably auto-losing.
You're never going to go hit it again.
And then if you do that,
your Brobnar just like wipes him off the board right now.
You can clear the board, right? You flamethrower or bond, and then you only have to kill one thing, and you can start getting recursion triggers. If you can, well, no, because you have to get chiefs into hand. Yeah, never mind. But you still do a lot of work here.
Yeah. So Bond's taken off with a flamethrower. I'd probably still. I think I'd use the Ganger Chieftain, perhaps. Foozle Reaps, that's a definite.
Right.
You got to be scared of the shadows. You don't want to like go too high because too much to protect brutalizes you. Ronnie also brutalizes you at 7.
I see. Now
there might be an argument to go to 8, right?
So my argument here is you go max, and here's the reason why. You are far behind in this match.
Yes.
If he has too much to protect and he hits too much to protect, then he's gonna win, right?
Right.
It doesn't. But you're going to lose this matchup, right? Like you are losing this matchup right now, and
Yeah.
I think you have to just
Go for it.
to drop the pedal to the ground.
Sure, that's fair.
I mean, but I totally hear what you're saying under normal circumstances. Like if Colby had no keys and he was unchecked for his first key,
that's fair.
completely
That's
agree
fair.
with your analysis. But I think you have to drop the pedal to the ground here because you can't afford to give you can't afford to give Colby.
And the
that's
Grumpus,
exactly what he's doing.
The Grumpus and the War Tamers are just going crazy right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any. He only has 2 Grumpus in the deck. His Brobnar actually can generate so much amber here.
And that's what he has to do. He has to take this line. And if Colby shows up with a TMTP, you just shake his hand, you say on to game 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, but like...
And because I don't feel bad about this deck's Brobnar chances versus other decks, right?
Right.
Because this board has gotten unruly.
Right.
Now
it's interesting. I didn't realize he had this good of a Brobnar deck. And he's striking the. We can talk about this later, but there it is.
Yep.
Well, it is. That's you just you scoop at this point. I mean, you don't really play it out because this is the quarterfinals of a Grand Championship.
Okay,
but.
so it's sent him directly to 6, and then a Nerve Blast keeps him off the key.
So,
he doesn't even get to forge his
but,
key.
like,
Yeah. Are we being treated to live music?
I'm reasonably certain we have someone with a fiddle, fiddle or a violin.
We have a string triplet over here.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
We have
live music.
We have backdrop live music that's not protected by copyright.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
This is the recording and streaming dream.
This is the dream, right? We're living the dream.
We are creating content.
Hire these guys to come to South Carolina. So we'll see. I mean, the music kicked in at exactly the moment that this match largely became irrelevant, so it's good timing on that front as well. Does he have... Oh, we did take him... He's not in check for...
So what Justin's doing is Justin's trying to get all the information that he can.
Yeah.
He was... Ronnie Wristclocks came down.
Yeah, I was going to say he took him off the key, so he did do a thing.
So that's not bad. And Merkins actually played a Mars first from his check from his archive. Justin managed to forge a key here. We thought this game was over. We were moving on to music.
Yeah, we were being entertained by music, but this is mildly interesting.
Yeah.
The real question is, does he have any amber control next turn?
I see. Correct. Right. Because Justin actually has enough to forge into the key right now. The problem is, I see in Colby's hand that he's got.
I think he's got 5.
He's got 5. Okay. But depending on what he says here, he could definitely between either shadows or.
Oh yeah, he's got. If he can survive for a couple more turns.
Okay, it looks like he's just gonna go with Brobnar here and just torch him off the board. These Martians are still too big for the War Grumpus to really fight, which kind of sucks. But Sufuzo's going to reap a bunch. I think you just got to fight all this stuff off the board. Colby has Amber Pips in his hand, so he can definitely just threaten on the next turn. I don't know if Justin has a way to stop him.
Yeah, so like at this point in time, hopefully Justin has some Amber control, but I mean, I think
the primary one in Brobnar in this deck is the Burn the Stockpile.
Yeah.
So I think with Burn the Stockpile gone, I think Justin's drawing dead, but we'll just have to see.
Well, it depends because he doesn't. He might be able to. Does he have anything in shadows? He could top deck.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if he's actually getting to. He played a Miasma very early in the game. So the Miasma, I think is in the discard pile.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, like that's the key. The key is if he, because he has cleared the board, and obviously I'm sure Colby can generate one Amber. The real question is, does he have anything to increase his cost or steal Amber, or capture Amber, or can he conjure an Iron Obelisk out of thin air? Like,
Sucker Punch here is probably going to close the game out.
It's just a matter of seeing what he's got. He's got some Mars stuff in here. Does he have?
Mars needs Amber would be the one that he would need, but Colby doesn't have any creatures.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So, which I don't think is gonna. I think the game is over at this point.
Likely. It's likely over, but we'll. We thought it was over a minute ago. It's not quite over yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's Keyforge.
That is key. I gotta say, I'm digging the Guns N' Roses on like the three-piece concert orchestra going on
there's
over there.
I'm trying to think of what it is. Was it dual cellos? What's the name of that? Two cellos? Is that the name of? There's like a.
Think so.
I'm gonna Google it right now while we're listening to it. But yeah, I think it's called Two Cellos, and I think they like just do string versions of popular music. So
it's awesome. I like it.
But yeah, that's what we're getting to.
It's a little bit of Lindsey Sterling without the trance background.
Right.
All right, so Colby also played Whistling Darts, so he's going to be up to 7, and Justin has scooped and said that's enough. I can't stop you.
Yes, it is 2 cellos.
2 cellos.
Spelled with the number.
With
2 cellos.
2 cellos. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
So that was enough. Colby turning over his deck and showing the key abduction at the bottom there. So even if Justin was able to stop him, he potentially had. I don't know that he had a live key abduction, but that was building.
Yeah, and I feel like that. I feel like I think it came down to maybe that too much to protect play, right? Because Justin gave him 5 right there. It gave him the 3rd key.
Well,
I completely.
I'm with you. That was real bad for Justin, but I don't know that he had any other strategically viable choice.
Right.
He had a logistically viable choice. Right. He could choose to not do that.
Right.
But if you don't do that, you were so far behind that there's no way that Colby can't generate enough amber if you don't have a heavy amber control deck. There's no way that Colby can't generate enough amber for you to win. So you take your shot, it didn't work out, and it's a best of 3 matchup. Right? Now, the one thing I was referencing earlier that I think is probably relevant to talk about is that Justin has played Colby before. So Justin, round 5, day 1, yesterday. Justin knows that the 3rd deck that he struck that Colby has is a Grunt Buggy Brobnar deck. Obviously Brobnar, it's not Maverick. That would be really weird. But anyway, it's a Grunt Buggy deck. Now, the deck that Justin has seems like it would operate reasonably well in a this deck, in a Grunt Buggy environment. He switched decks. But the deck that Justin was playing.
Yeah, and
the Brobnar,
we talked about this strategy right here, the swapping decks if you lost. The reason being that you're moving into a game where your opponent doesn't know what's in your deck.
So,
and since it's sealed, that's just a huge advantage to give to your opponent if in game 2, letting them know exactly what's in your deck, what's still fresh.
We have talked a lot about that on our squad as well, and most of us, I think, ended up on the playing field of play your best deck. Unless there's something specific about the deck that's coming up that that presents a matchup problem, to generally stay with that deck.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have that information at some point anyway. Right. So if he switches in, that doesn't mean this decision is wrong. I don't know enough about the matchups.
Yeah.
So you can argue, there are 2 sides of the same coin, but I hear what you're saying, and I recognize the utility of doing this. That because of that, it's very likely that there are aspects of the matchup that favor Justin.
Yeah. So one of our key points was you're gonna play a game in between the game where they saw your deck. Yeah. And so they might lose track of some information.
Especially against someone like me, that would be pro tip for playing me. that I often forget things. So you can't discount the opportunity. Giving someone the opportunity to make a mistake or forget things.
Exactly.
That's a very real thing.
That's like one of the things. Especially at high levels of competitive card gaming.
Yeah.
Giving your opponent the ability to make mistakes.
Yeah. You have to
generating those in the course of a game.
Right.
It's pretty important because a lot of really good players aren't gonna give you that opportunity that many times.
That's true, and you have to maximizing the windows that you have is super important in Keyforge because RNG is going to control your life so much, especially in a sealed environment. RNG is going to control your life so much that the times when you can seize the reins back from RNG, you have to grab them.
Exactly.
You have to seize the moment. So you're 100% correct.
I think the most skill testing things that occurred in this were the ban.
Yep.
And then I think the actual match, the carrying knowledge with you between games, I think was really skill testing.
Yes.
So
he hypno beamed. He played Schuler and Gubb. Justin did.
Yeah.
And then Colby hypno beamed the Schuler.
And it's
played
played a Marginine Amber.
for Amber.
Yeah.
So I don't think, does Colby have Dis in this deck? I think he does. Yes, this is the Mars Dis Shadows deck I banned. So I didn't see this deck, I just heard it was gross.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out how gross it is.
Justin responded with the Spirit's Way there, which doesn't get his Gubb and kill Schuler, which is nice. And now Gubb is back up to over the power there. Abade comes down, hiding behind a Gubb. We got a Lion Baltrum on the other side.
Right.
I may have played the Lion Baltrum on the other side of the Gubb just to keep the Gubb big. But then again, making Abade pretty juicy target.
The argument for putting Lion there is that Abade is going to be a target.
Yeah.
And therefore, if Abade dies, Lion still keeps Gubb big.
Yeah.
Right. That's the argument.
That's a
putting
good argument.
Lion there.
All right, so Gongoozle stripped an Oubliette from Justin's hand. Which imp is that? Silver Key imp. Scullion kills it anyway. Gubb comes out.
Gubb on Gubb action here.
Yep. One Gubb is not like the other, though, in this situation.
No. No, it is not.
So Justin's hand, I see Exhume. I see Harder They Come, which is actually probably going to just wreck the Scullion right now.
That's correct.
Justin's saying Sanctum. Scullion's RFG'd. Justin is fighting the Gubb off the table, reaping with Opal Knight, probably reaping with Abade here, I'd say.
And so, you really...
The Amber Conduction unit stunned the Opal Knight here, so Justin led with him intentionally so that he could use his Abade again on the next turn.
That's a critical thing to do.
Routine
Colby
job.
has routine jobs in this deck.
Oh, sweet.
Dumb. Okay, yeah.
Very
and
sweet.
He plays Bad Penny.
Goes with a Bad Penny. Okay, interesting.
He's got to have some sort of
maybe some combo.
Trigger or something.
And I see a lot of Mars stuff in his hand right now. There's like a Key Abduction. I think that's like very. We got
Game of Thrones happening. I love this. This is amazing.
The Game of Thrones intro is playing.
This is amazing backdrop music. So he's got Baron Mengavin,
who's awesome. A Disambassador comes down. He's solid. Baltrum's actually buffing the Disambassador, so he's elusive and 3 power now, so he's not like a free kill.
Yeah.
Normally when he's sitting at 1 power, he's just kind of dead. But with Abade is going, Justin's opting to stun Abade to the Amber Conduction unit, but he's stripped all of his Amber. Baltrum can't actually. Baltrum might fight Bad Penny here. I don't know. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he does. I think that's right. I think you punish him for playing the Bad Penny and cycle him back to hand.
Right.
I mean,
Humans come out. Sky Booster. We've got a Mothership Support blank here. Another Red Planet Ray Gun. I don't think Justin probably runs back Sanctum here.
I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I would run back Sanctum, and I would just this is perfect.
Yeah.
Golden Aura
on Gubb, that's a free
fight
kill.
Into the Squadron, maybe.
Yeah, the 2 guys you want to get off the table. Squadron is actually probably blank, in my opinion. I would want to get the Gamgee, and I'd want to get the Human off the table. So Opal Knight has reaped and is stunned.
I'd be more concerned about, like, the Amber stealing is a problem, but I'd be more concerned about things that can disrupt your board dominance.
Yeah.
Especially you could hit the Ambassador under taunt. So,
a banish. Oh,
that's
nice.
Really good.
Yeah, that's good. The Disambassador
you've
plays
got to
a
get rid
banish
of the
here.
ray gun as
and
the
that's
real
awesome.
Target.
That's awesome because that keeps you from having to fight twice to get the guy off the table.
Max
reap. And is Mingevin gonna reap?
He reaps again.
Yeah, he's reaps again. Because the thing is, Gamgee can stop you on table. Because he can reap and steal 1 from you.
And even if you turn over his hand and showed you too much to protect, you still reap to 7 there. It doesn't matter.
Like, TMTP for 1 is very livable.
Feels bad moment.
Yeah.
Night Forging for nothing, just for Amber.
Discarding the Bad Penny this time.
He's learned his lesson with Bad Penny.
Yeah. Okay. So Colby is at 7 Amber there. So Justin gets a key. I would almost certainly you're going to go back to Sanctum because of the Disambassador.
I think that's true, except I think does he have Miasma in hand? He might consider that.
He does. I would almost save the thing is, you can generate so much amber from what's
right.
on board.
I think you want to do some sanctum
And the
things.
Disambassador is letting you get through your deck. That's like huge in this situation.
Oh, take hostages.
I think that's Shield of Justice.
Oh, is that Shield of
Shield of Justice?
Oh, I got excited.
All those
take hostages would be way better here. But...
Yeah, take hostages would be insane, especially since both those dudes are elusive.
Elusive, exactly.
So you'd get all that extra fights in. So Justin is gonna reap with Abade, so he gets stunned because of the Amber Conduction unit. Then reap with the Ambassador, so that he can play something. He's playing an Exhume
for.
He didn't have.
Schuler.
Oh, Schuler, nice. Okay, so that'll get an Amber. It won't stop the key, but it does get an Amber. And I think Justin will actually just get to threaten again this turn, right? So you can go to 7. The question is, do you go to 7 or do you kill the Gamgee? I think. Let's see. I think you just go to 7.
So he's
he's fighting Gamgee off the board. Okay, all right.
And do you have anything to go to?
Oh, Baron Mingevin shouldn't actually take the damage there.
Why?
Because of the Shield of Justice. So that is I don't know if I don't know if we can interrupt. So Erich is going to go tell them about that slight rules misstep. So yeah, the invisible hand of the commentator.
That's
has
right.
stepped in. So we've corrected the board state. I see a routine job in Colby's hand.
Okay.
Which is pretty brutal here because I think it gets 2.
It does get 2.
So I'm pretty glad Gamgee's dead then.
I think
because if he had gotten to reap with Gamgee then routine job, that's a pretty heavy amber swing.
Yeah, I was questioning it originally, but I think that's fair. I think you don't really want that thing on the board long term, and you figure with Colby's deck, he's very likely to take you off exactly check anyway. So might as well get long term stability.
Yeah.
The key to this matchup for Justin is board presence, obviously, right? He's going to have to fight back Colby's rushing for amber and amber control.
Exactly, and the thing is, Colby hasn't been able to stick anything to the board. Justin's running back to Sanctum. I assumed that was probably the case.
Does he have any? He has something with armor, right? The Mangevin?
Yes.
So the Mangevin or the Baltrum, right? Needs to fight into the poison guy and save himself. Yeah.
Gets them off the board. Disambassador is going. Oh, is that another Banish? Banish Knuckles Bolton? Oh man, that's brutal.
That is very good.
Because now your archive is
Bolton and the Mars guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 2 guys.
Agent Human.
2 guys you got to play and have them like untap with to be decent. So yeah, can't keep anything on the table.
Forcing suboptimal plays from your opponent is a key component of high-level Keyforge.
Yeah, well, just disrupting deck efficiency, right? Yeah. Like making it so that your opponent is like having to stumble over the cards that they're drawing throughout the game. It just makes things so ugly. Oh, a Hysteria. Okay, so actually
that's pretty good.
Well, here's the thing.
He popped an Abade.
And Mingevin you can just pitch all the other Sanctum guys to Mingevin to just capture a bunch of stuff.
It's still a good play, but he's gonna have responses.
All right,
exhuming...
so Dust Imp and a Yerk came out. Silver Key Imp came out, stopped Justin's key. So this actually creates an interesting board situation because Colby can't forge his second key either.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty clearly go Sanctum here, and the question is...
No, the Opal guy is actually going to come out and...
he forged...
Oh, no, it's silver. Is that the silver key? Or is it the gold key?
Is that not the silver key imp?
No, it is the silver key.
He just realized he can't do that.
All right, good.
I'm digging the playlist. That's all I got to say. I don't know if you can heir it on the broadcast later.
Yeah, you might,
We've got some Linkin Park going on.
We've got the we'll have the playlist down in the description for you.
We'll put it in chat.
We'll put it. we'll get the timestamps for you.
That's right.
So Abade came out.
And he doesn't even need to discard anything with Mangevin.
Yeah.
Blinding Light to stun Dis or hold Blinding Light? Blinding Light for the Amber.
Yeah, I think you want the Amber. I think you're pretty far ahead in the Amber race right now. So you stun Old Yerk. It does suck losing your taunt from Gub, but the Disambassador can come back around and play it eventually.
Hey, play next turn.
Yeah, so special delivery might.
So here's the one thing that he might have made a mistake doing, right? He
yeah.
might have he shouldn't have put the Ambassador on the flank.
Yeah.
Right, he should have put the Ambassador in between Lion and Obeyed.
Right, and then you put Mingevin on the other side, because Mingevin and Opal Knight are both pretty big dudes that you don't care if they get taken care of.
Although he's got a banish,
he had a banish,
so
I don't think
he could have put the Ambassador dead center, and that would have. He's got
Call the
Weak and Call the Weak would just kill. All right, never mind. He's got everything.
Yeah.
He didn't kill Mengevin though.
Right.
He's got double Miasma in hand.
Yeah.
He's
pretty good, right? Because you can delay several turns here.
If he's got anything else in shadows, and it looks like he
needs to
probably
flip the
does.
ski.
He didn't.
Needs to flip the ski. So.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So yeah. He's got it. All right. All right. And yeah. So probably a big turn from shadows.
He did,
here.
right?
Yeah,
as soon as I walked in the other room.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You got it.
So Hideaway Hole comes out. Miasma comes out. Oh man, do you play that Miasma? I think you do.
The second one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's tough. If you look at his hand didn't have really any other amber in it, right? So I think you have to run out the other.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, but
because
that is...
you can't. You need to draw into something. You can reap next turn.
It's really close, because if that's the only thing you have to stop him, if he were to generate a lot of amber somehow.
Yeah.
So he's showing Mindworm, right? So, or not Mindworm, Mind Warper, excuse me. He's showing.
I think when Justin banished earlier, Colby didn't put the dude in his archives. I think he purged it. Is that what happened?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Schuler comes out. Dust Imp comes out. Gub comes out. Binding Irons comes out. So that's some chains. And then Unlocked Gateway comes out to kill the Dust Imp, to force Justin over 7, killing the Mind Warper, making it so Colby can't Mind Warp. There's a Ronnie in hand, I see.
So he's got
Ronnie
Lights Out, Ronnie.
Colby will forge here. So Colby's going to get his second key. Justin has 3, 6, 8. Justin has 8.
So that survives Ronnie. The question is, does he have anything else?
Right. He would need the routine job, right? He'd had to have hit one. And I don't think he got to one.
Yeah, I couldn't see. There were 2 Shadows cards in his hand that I couldn't.
Yeah,
one Shadows card.
One looks like Throwing Stars, and one looks
Throwing
like Lights
Stars.
Out.
That's the one I could. Lights Out, Throwing Stars,
yeah.
Ronnie.
And all the creatures are dead, so that doesn't matter.
Ronnie, Throwing Stars, Lights Out, and Scoop.
Yep.
Game
3.
Wow, that's big. That's really big.
Yeah, the rubber match. Now the question is, how this deck matches up against Justin's Brobnar deck, right? I think all that hysteria, all that removal, is probably in Colby's favor.
Yeah.
Because he's got so many ways to kill creatures.
Because Justin doesn't have a Drummer Knot. I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to get a couple Ganger Chieftain activations, but I don't know if that trade-off is still in Colby's favor.
Right. Well, because the thing is with you could still Banish is not good against Ganger Chieftain, and Hysteria is not good against Ganger Chieftain.
No, but it's okay against a massive Brobnar board that happens to include Ganger Chieftain, as long as the board doesn't include Drummer.
Something Justin has to watch out for is because this deck had the Hypno Beam, right? Justin's got to watch out for the Hypno Beam because you've got the Mars Mirror. Yeah. And Hypno Beam is really powerful in the Mars Mirror, especially if you have
I had a deck with Hypno Beam that I made good use of it.
Yeah.
Day one.
Because if your opponent has a Proliferator, that's bad. If they have if they have
real bad.
If they have a Xanthix Harvester, that's not good.
No.
So there's a lot of things that can go wrong when it comes to Hypno Beaming or getting Hypno Beamed if you have Mars in your deck. Now Justin's deck, and I know this because I got to see his deck list. That Mars deck has 4 Zizix Shockworms in it, which is very mediocre. So the fact that Justin's creatures aren't good might be like randomly help him in this matchup. You see what I'm saying? Like
because they're not targets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
they're all mediocre. So it's just he might just run out Hypno Beam just to get the first guy that he sees. So
yeah, no, that is possible. So Justin's playing first. Colby has told Justin to play first.
Okay, so got the opening hands here. Collector Worm is not bad. I like leading off with a Collector Worm.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hard to remove. And Merkins, this I would be tempted to keep this hand.
It's Merkins, Throwing Stars. What was the other one? Shadow. Well, we'll never.
I think it just
we'll find out later.
Justin tossed it. Okay. Yeah, it was Merkins. It looked like Dust Chronicles and Throwing Stars.
Yeah. Okay.
So
those
Merkins
are kind of mid-game cards that you want later. So
Merkins is so weird. Like I find myself just playing Merkins whenever he's there, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe if I saw some cards from my opponent that were archiving some sneaky stuff, I might consider holding Merkins.
Right.
But most of the times I just run Merkins out.
I think that's true.
And especially if you know Colby's deck is nuts. You want to play Merkins. You want to play Merkins and you want to play the top card of his deck because you know his top card of his deck is better than your card.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Justin did hit a shadow, a subtle maul there. I'd be tempted to lead off with that subtle maul.
Yeah, I think that's...
and that's what he's doing.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds good. That is... All right, so we got a Dust Imp and an Old Yerk. Old Yerk's pitching some mediocre creatures to the discard pile, guys that were banished last game for the most part. And Old Yerk is big enough to help fight for the board.
Colby drew into a Hypno Beam.
Yeah, I think it was actually in his opener.
Oh, okay.
But he's had the Hypno Beam. Like I said, I think that's one of the cards you're looking for in this matchup.
Yeah.
You don't really want to. You got.
I misunderstood. I thought you were saying Justin has a Hypno Beam.
No, Justin doesn't have.
Oh,
a Hypno
I
Beam.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Grumpus Tamer comes out. Justin's got a pound. Justin is going to pound the Dust Imp. It will give him some amber. It's a real hard call.
It's gonna get killed eventually.
Yeah, and you might as well not let it reap a bunch, right? It also puts a damage on Old Yerk, so Old Yerk will only trade now as opposed to getting the kill on the Grumpus Tamer.
Yeah.
Grumpus Tamer's banished. Old Yerk is reaping. We've got Silver Key Imp coming back out. That guy's multiple turns away from mattering. So Justin going back, looking like probably a Mars turn. Got about 3 Mars cards or more. So Justin plays a Mother Gun, plays a Collector Worm. Mars first, big. So the thing is, you got your Grumpus Tamer in there. So who do you take? Who do you get?
I think you get the Silver Key. No, I agree with this play.
Okay.
I take the power off the board.
Okay.
I mean, I think you can make an argument for either, but I take the power off the board there, especially since there's a reasonable chance you can Mother Gun out the Imp if you draw just 2 Mars cards, which of course he didn't as soon as I said that. But
Hypno Beam on Collector Worm's bad, right? That's probably one of the priority targets. Justin didn't have any other dudes, so it's the disaster is minimal there. And then Colby generates a bunch of amber through some actions that are essentially blank and reaping with the Collector Worm that he stole.
Yeah. So this is going to be harder for him to remove.
Yeah.
He has...
So Shadow's turn, it looks like, an Umbra, a Redlock, a Furtive Investors, and then a Subtle Maul. And Justin's reminding him that he's discarding a card from his hand.
Right.
So...
Colby would like to skip that point. But not allowed under the rules.
Oh, bad opinion.
No!
Oh, he was going to discard it anyway. Cards that would have been discarded anyway.
It's when things like that happen that you kind of understand that the Keyforge gods may not be on your side today, but yeah.
So you got to get these Shadows guys out. Redlock and Umbra are both priority targets, just because of their very, very real ability to generate more amber than you really want to give your opponent.
We might have an opportunity here to figure out if the ruling has changed. Or if the ruling is different here. The Collector Worm fighting
a 2-power guy? Yeah.
Yeah, so at Gen Con that was ruled to archive.
Yeah.
It was ruled to archive.
That's the way I played it all day. Was that it went to archive.
Right. So I don't know if that's been ruled on here.
I don't know. Yeah. I really want to see this rules update.
If you have any thoughts about this controversy, post in chat below.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I could use my bully pulpit to accomplish a couple things.
Yeah.
I would love to make consistent rules updates to Keyforge, right? Like
That
I
would
think
be great.
I think
I'm
you
a
need
big
one.
fan.
You need one about a month after a set comes out because 99% of the Bizarro rule situations will have been
Have
discovered
occurred,
by that
yeah.
point.
Mhm.
And you just really want to know the rules of the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
When you play a game.
This has always been my position. Like, I don't care what the rules are as long as they're not actually random.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to know
Be-
what
be
the
it
rules
con-
are.
be it
Like, I
consistent.
need to know what the rules are.
Yeah. Be consistent, please. And then my second bully pulpit position is to open source the tournament running software so that the developers in the community can fix it. So my personal goal at this point is to hammer that point home whenever I get a chance. So,
I'm on board. I'm on board with both these goals. Meanwhile, what happened was Colby lights out Redlock and Umbra, forcing Justin to take a turn off functionally to replay them, and he did get another subtle maul hit, which was Gamgee.
Yeah.
So it's a good subtle maul hit.
That's not a bad one. Yeah,
but
solid
he had
one.
to take an entire turn off to do that.
Yeah.
Right? He traded a turn for
right.
discarding a Gamgee, which is obviously not good.
Silver Key Imp is just trading with Umbra here. And exhuming Dust Imp. Yeah, makes sense. Now Streak is shutting off Justin's hand. Scullion comes
Sacking
out.
Dust Imp.
Oof.
Oh, this deck is gas.
Yeah. And
There's a reason we banned this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, exhuming Dust Imp again. Or is he exhuming somebody else? It's Dust Imp, right? It's Dust Imp. You might get a Mars guy here, but I would get the I'd get the Dust Imp.
Probably.
It's got to be the Dust Imp. If the Dust Imp gets dealt with, then
Does he have Ronnie?
Nah, he didn't have Ronnie. Okay, so opting with the Sky Booster. Okay.
So the argument for that is if he plans on having a big Mars turn next turn, and he doesn't think the Sky Booster is going to get removed, that the Sky Booster may be more of immediate value. And of course, as soon as I say that, he draws
draws a decent amount of Mars.
Right.
The last card in his hand was a Mars card, so I can see that, right? I'd still be tempted to get the Dust Imp just because of how much Amber.
I probably would too.
Mother Gun obliterates the Streak. Another Mother Gun comes down. 2 Shockhorns come out. That's probably too little too late, right?
Yeah, well, the problem here is that
Justin's so far behind on Amber.
He's pretty clearly signaled he's going to run a Mars turn next turn.
Yeah.
Right, so it's
you
have to do it anyway, but like
right,
but
you're having to kill a non-Mars creature.
Yep.
Right? So probably Amber Conduction comes down here. That'll slow Justin's board down some.
Does Justin, by any miracle, have something like 4 Mars cards in hand? Because the double Mother Gun on Collector Worm does work.
Yeah.
He's got that many. I don't think he does.
I don't think he does, no. His hand's looking like mostly Brobnar. He hasn't said Brobnar in many turns. Mother Gun is out. I'm sorry, Mind Warper is out. Mind Warper... Mind Warper is so much better in this set than he was in COTA, and he was like one of the better Mars cards in COTA. But in this set, Mind Warper just does so much work.
And part of that is the set is slower.
Yeah.
Right? In a sealed format, the set is slower.
This
so
might have been a misplay, because now the Sky Booster's got to go back to his hand, and he loses the ray gun.
Well, so you get a hit off of it immediately, right?
Right.
He ray gunned, and that caused Redlock to be killed. So there's an argument that's I think that's fine because the board the Amber advantage he has.
Yeah.
Like the general game advantage.
He can afford cards, right? Because he's so close to winning at this point.
Trading when you're a mile ahead of your opponent, going a little slower in exchange for someone tying sandbags to your opponent's legs is pretty good, right? I mean, that's
exactly.
Like that's the safe play.
2 War Grumpuses and a Foozle came out, and he flamethrowered some guys. I don't know. I feel like this is the death knell here. Justin drew into maybe a Gengar Chieftain. I'm not sure. Gengar Chieftain would be pretty good here because you've actually got some dudes that the War Grumpus can fight and live through. You need a way to kill off a Mars creature, though, because then you could like reap a bunch with Foozle if you do get to do that. But I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen. Colby, see, I think I saw Throwing Stars in his hand. He might even. Okay, so he's going back with Mars.
Throwing Stars his own dude to max out Amber.
Yeah. But it looks like he's just gonna Mind Warper, get rid of Foozle, which is good because Foozle is probably how Justin could win the game. In whatever universe in which Justin could win the game.
That's right. In a universe far, far away and distant into the future.
So Colby goes to 5 here. Not quite enough, but does take Justin off the amber. Colby doesn't even draw any cards here. I think that's fine, right? Because you can
He doesn't care, right?
Okay, Sound the Horns is interesting. We'll see what Justin hits. I don't. A Lollop. Lollop's probably dead here, right?
Lollop's good, but it's
probably
too
too
late.
far. Yeah, it's probably too far.
It's gonna get collector wormed and.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin. Listen, Justin's doing the best he can.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
let's not forget the fact
right.
that Justin currently has 2 total amber.
Right.
Two and
keys.
no keys.
2 keys,
right.
5 amber over
so
here.
like, this is I don't know that it would have mattered, but this is where the deck striking comes into play, because if Justin had struck this deck, he would have had to play against the Grump Leggy deck that you'll see on recording, or you saw on stream earlier, Colby bashing my face in, and you'll see a recording of that as well. And other, he played the Grump Leggy deck before, and he lost to it. So who knows whether it would have been better? Yeah, but this is just
the Dust Imp shenanigans. Earlier generated way too much amber.
Scullion Dust Imp, Zoom Dust Imp.
Yeah, it's just that's a lot of amber.
Really good.
So Justin did draw into Burn the Stockpile, which does make it so that if Colby goes to 7, Justin can stop him. And you're more likely to get to 7 against like a Shadows deck than you would be normally. Maybe even against Mars, right? Because he does have damaged dudes, so he's got to worry about like Mars needs amber. Which would stop him if he were exactly at 6.
Yeah.
So he might blunder and go to 7.
Special delivery, Night Forge.
He looks like he discarded it. He's throwing stars.
So he knows if he's doing that.
Yeah. So he's opted. Okay. He's opted discard playing throwing stars, not killing anybody. He's kind of probably just emptying his hand at this point. Playing a Moon Cursor.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah, he could have generated.
That is a pro-level play, because what Colby did there is he played around what he perceived and was correct in this situation to be one of Justin's only outs. Right. Now Justin has miasma, right? So
yes.
Justin's gonna get another turn.
So he gets a Dust Chronicles, gets to draw a card. He drew a Throwing Star. Is actually pretty good here. He plays a miasma.
He played 2 miasmas or 1 miasma?
Played 1 miasma.
Okay.
So he gets the Moon Cursor, puts another damage on, gets a Subtle Maul. It's not blank here. Hits a Gub. Tells him check. Colby looks like he's got a Ronnie.
So here's
and a routine
if
job.
Colby's going with this plan, he's going to steal a lot.
He's stealing 2, yeah.
And then he's going to steal more. Okay.
Steals 1 routine.
I was going to say, if he didn't have both of those
Did he have
things,
both routine jobs?
The play would probably be.
Yeah, he did have both.
If he didn't have both of those cards, the play would probably be to not generate any amber. If he's already indicated he's willing to play around too much to protect, then he should play around too much to protect. But he's at 10 now, so.
Yeah. Justin shows him. Justin's going to play a Merkins, it looks like. Maybe he hits something.
I don't know what your Merkins here. It's kind of interesting.
Merkins, top card. Survey says Collector Worm. Okay. That's game.
And that's the game.
They scoop it up.
Too much.
Yeah, it was a good match.
That was a great match. Justin certainly availed himself very well to win a game in that match.
Yep.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
I was certainly unable to do that against him.
Right, and he beat this deck that won handily here. Right, like that. This deck lost that Colby played lost the last game.
Oh, wow.
And Justin beat that deck.
Yes, this is how bad my memory is. I forgot that was this deck. Yeah, no, that's remarkable.
So yeah, and then that deck won, not even letting Justin forge a key.
Here's a question. Do you think that it's possible? This is what I want to know from the competitors. Do you think Colby picked the other deck to play first because he just perceived it to be his best deck? Or do you think Colby went second level and said, I know Justin's striking, it's like letting me play this deck because he thinks I'm going to play it first, so I'm not going to play it first, and instead I'll play it against what I perceive to be the better.
Right. So here's the thing. I feel like
play it second rather. So
I feel like I needed like an Excel spreadsheet for all the possibilities. Sit down. So and like find other stuff. So yeah, Colby's here. Right. He may want to comment on his stuff and jump out. Okay, so yeah.
What a
all
game!
Right. You beat my boy. So
those were close games.
Before we say anything else, one other thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to this man for qualifying for World Championships in Keyforge in the first year.
Congrats.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
sir. Now, sorry to interrupt.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so incredibly close games. You beat my boy. I'll forgive you for that. So, but yeah, you want to go through what happened there?
Yeah, those were close games. I entirely forgot what we did in our first matchup, but like I remembered, okay, double mother gun, double nonsense, like that was familiar, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
at the end,
like,
he had the burn, and I got very lucky drawing into the Ronnie and the routine job.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was happy to have played around that. But yeah, that I have to do this thing. This is like important, right?
we did get to.
That's it. That's important. Now
the match slip. Yep. Now it's official. Now it's official.
Thank you.
So I mean, it looked like really close. Both the games were very board centric.
Yeah.
But the decks that you had were pretty good at generating amber, despite losing the board often.
That's one of the things that I really noticed when I pulled my decks. It's not that I chose that, but I really noticed each of my decks really has 13, 14 passive amber, and the two that I played were both the Shadows ones. The first one is just utter nonsense. That deck is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like, that's the one where I did the too much to protect, right?
Yeah. Well, that was when you go back and you go to cut this, we were actually talking about it right at that moment because we couldn't see the too much to protect in your hand.
Yeah.
And I was like making the argument not to play into the too much to protect, and Erich was making the argument that the only way you win the game is if you play as if he doesn't have the too much to protect and then force him to have it.
That's exactly what Justin said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of set that turn up and I let my board die, and I'm like, I think I can win based on this, and I still almost lost that game.
Right. Yeah. No. It was pretty close. Yeah. You're right. He was very close to being able to run away with it because he stopped because we had actually the live band that's playing over there started playing, and we started paying attention to it, and we're like, this game is over, and we turned back and the game was still going. I was like, why is this? How is this game still going?
Still happening?
You just too much protected him for like 5, and he battled his way back in.
With the nerve blast.
Yeah.
No, that game was.
It was a crazy game.
I was very nervous at the end of that game, but I'm like, I know. I remembered like vaguely that there's not a lot of amber control in that deck, but I knew about the burn.
Yeah.
I think I got hit with the burn, but like.
Well, at the time you got hit with the burn, it's still correct to play it.
Oh yeah.
And it was still correct for you to go to 10 because even it does have the burn, you still get the key.
Yeah.
And that's the key, right? That was the important thing there, to get the key if you could. So.
You know what? I think we're gonna try to stream the last round.
Quarterfinals, right?
The quarterfinals, and then the finals. I think we're gonna try to stream the next one because I see the internet's coming back. Maybe it's a little bit later in the day.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, fantastic games. Do you want to talk to Justin while I go do a couple
Sure,
things?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay. All right.
What's up?
Justin sucks.
I played Keyforge and I lost a game of Keyforge. It happens. I lost 2 games.
It was really close stuff. We were watching, obviously watching from in here, I told Colby this just now, but like that live band over there started playing, and Erich and I were like, yeah, this game's done, and when he too much protected you, and we were like commenting on like the music and stuff like that, and we turned back and the game was still going, and we're like, how are you still in this kind of thing? It just like really showed the resiliency of your deck at that point.
Yeah, I was just like, the problem is I couldn't stop another key, so I had to just like hope that he didn't have amber out of the hand at that point.
Yeah. And that's what it looked like. He was at a point where if he could generate any amber from his hand, he was going to win. And there was like one turn where he couldn't. He just had to play like.
He played a bunch of Mars guys.
Yeah, he played a bunch of Mars.
Killed all those.
And you murdered them wholesale.
Yeah.
And because it definitely looked like you were going to have to control the board to win that game.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was like just the way your games went yesterday anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to control the board and then get amber where I could. Foozle was MVP for just gaining me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you had like grumpuses and stuff like that. You could combo with
the grumpuses were working really well with Lollips.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Lollop is big enough, as I pointed out, he could fight any 3 dudes.
Yeah.
And before he died.
Right.
So and then he like healing blasted the Lollop. That was like there were so many cards in that game that he got like maximum value from.
Yeah.
And it was just brutal to watch.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you like stayed in the game.
So that was the game where he swindled me too, right?
Yeah, he swindled. You were at 5. He was at like 3 or something. He swindles you, and it wasn't like the thing with swindle is it's such like a negative tempo play that like if you swindle and your opponent generates just as much amber or more than you swindled, oftentimes swindle was probably the wrong call. If it didn't stop a key or if it didn't like let you threaten. In that situation, he swindled you and like you just like played some dorks and like didn't get to like get back in. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine. I enjoyed my Sanctum runaway game.
Yeah, yeah, that game was pretty devastating. I like it was close.
Yeah.
It wasn't a free win. You were definitely in command of that game, but like the Sanctum just took over the board. The fact that he had to Hysteria non-profitably because you got to reset a Bade.
I got to play Schuler.
You got to get Schuler again.
Onyx Knight again, which killed 2 of his guys.
Yes, yeah.
So I made a play mistake. At one turn, I could have played my guys, exhumed Schuler, and then discarded the the Shield of Justice to capture another amber to stop him off the key. That was the first key he forged.
Yeah.
So I like bungled that and just played Blinding Light, just not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Or Shield of Justice. So I messed up there. I also messed up when I played the ambassador on the flank instead of Baron Mengavin because he had the...
Well, we actually talked about it too. That's technically an error, but the amount of removal he had on his hand the following turn did not matter where you placed this ambassador.
Well, he had to Cola Weak the Bade. He couldn't have done that without the...
yes.
So it was actually pretty important.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so it depended on the order that he had. So he was able to... Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. Because the thing was, we were looking at like the Banish, the Cull, all the stuff, and we were like, man, he's just got the special delivery. He just had so much removal that we were like, it almost didn't matter what order you played your dudes in, because they were just all going to get killed. So
I was able to follow up with that pretty good disc turn where I kept him off key and then unlocked Gateway to threaten again.
Yeah, and well, when he Hysteria'd, I like pointed out that Baron Mengavin, worst case, you could play Baron Mengavin and just pitch everybody in your hand to Mengavin.
Right.
Like Mengavin, Abade, throw the rest of the people away because at that point their job is done.
Yeah, exactly.
And get a ton of amber captured too. So
I was enjoying. I mean, they were good series.
It was good stuff.
Routine job. I mean,
I don't. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Routine job feels like cheating, especially in this format.
It's crazy.
Compared to COTA. So
his deck's really good. I think he'll be well positioned in the top 4.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the favorite. I haven't gotten to like look at the other decks.
His Grump deck, the one I banned, is crazy good.
Yeah.
So I got trashed by that.
Yeah.
So I know that one can win.
Right.
Any match. It's also got Ganger Chief to drum knot.
Right.
So I was like, that's an easy ban.
Yeah.
I gave myself the chance to win.
Yeah. That's what you got to do in this format. So
didn't get lucky.
That's it. Tabletop Royale signing out. Our guest spots on Bouncing Deathquark. We appreciate it, Colby.
Thanks again, guys, for the cast. Thanks again for the game, man.
Absolutely. Well played.
Yeah.
And we'll see you for the top 4. We're gonna try to stream this one. So check this. This was gonna be posted later, but you already know that because you're already watching. All right, bye.